I am very pleased to be here this morning at the opening of the Knowledge Fair organized by the GEF Small Grants Program on the theme Igniting Global Envirominds Transforming Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. The GEF Small Grants Program, implemented by the United Nations Development Program, is the main channel through which the Global Environment Facility provides grant funding to civil society organizations in Trinidad and Tobago.
The role of the environment in Trinidad and Tobago's development pursuits cannot be disregarded. A healthy economic and social status goes hand in hand with a healthy environmental status. The goal, therefore, is to advance sustainable development through balanced socio-economic development and environmental conservation, to create a viable economy and a clean and healthy environment for the benefit of all. Managing and conserving environmental resources is broad in scope and requires the participation of all sectors of the society. The logistical demand for the coordination, implementation, and overseeing of environmental plan for Trinidad and Tobago is interconnected and demands collaboration, but it is possible to achieve it. Ensuring that all concerned take priority action and lend mutual support to the overall goals is fundamental to environmental sustainability.
The Knowledge Fair aims to bring together GEF SGP grantee partners and stakeholders to network and share best practices. It aims to showcase and catalyze innovations in environmental sustainability and to promote opportunities for policy influence. There is a way to transform environmental projects into real careers, real businesses, and real livelihoods.
Organic music provided by Jewels of Nature as the ribbon was cut to launch the Environminded and Social Solution pop-up exhibition. With approximately 60 different grantee and non-grantee exhibitors at the Knowledge Fair, there was a cornucopia of interesting avenues to learn, experience, and share at any time over the 2 days.
What we do at Sustain TNT is try to raise awareness about environmental, social, and sustainability issues. And at the Knowledge Fair these past 2 days, we screened environmental films for secondary school students.
My partner in the business and myself really wanted to start doing this work in communities. So we began teaching chocolate making in communities that have traditionally just grown cocoa. I'm also a founder of a group called Destination Chocolate, which is a newly formed umbrella group that's formed by us, those of us within the cocoa and chocolate industry. And we would like to not compete with each other, but to actually collaborate, to sell our products, to develop other options and ways that people can understand Trinidad and Tobago as a place that grows cocoa, that processes cocoa.
In order to bring the Knowledge Fair's learning and capacity building vision to life, presentations with panel discussions as well as workshops were held, building on lessons learned and fostering the replication of best practices. The presentations and panel discussion on private sector solutions to social and environmental challenges delved into the urgent need for a collaborative approach to these challenges.
Smart Energy Limited is a green technology company. We strive to become the most innovative renewable energy and energy efficiency company in the Caribbean. I think the biggest challenges in renewable energy, in Trinidad at least, is the subsidized electricity costs. So energy is very cheap, so that makes it very difficult for renewables to get a foothold here. But there are niche applications where they can be applied for remote locations and so on. But I think there's also a lack of education about green technology, so the average citizen might not be aware of it, but it's something that requires a certain amount of capacity building over time to get everybody up to speed.
Meanwhile, Veni Apwan facilitated a parallel workshop on key stakeholder identification analysis and engagement for improved sustainability, which was a systematic approach to identifying and engaging the stakeholders who are key to the long-term success projects and programs. Day 2 got rolling with Dr. Garner's discussion on the project life cycle of a grassroots organization and lessons for successful fundraising and implementation.
The idea is to basically identify what will be the 2-3 most important environmental challenges that small state islands will have, and let's try to come up with very innovative ideas. And the process that we're going to engage in is going to be all about that. It's a process of exploration and discovery, but most importantly, after that day, we might have an interesting portfolio of doable, feasible projects that we can actually go execute.
I was here talking about leadership, and one of the most important lessons I wanted people to take home from the workshop was that leadership and management are not the same thing, and this applies for small organizations all the way up until countries, right? So we want to build organizations and institutions in which everyone feels a power of leadership and everyone feels accountable to making change happen. And so we talked about different tactics and strategies that can be used to create that feeling of leadership throughout organizations.
This workshop was an organizational guide to building a social entrepreneurial business, which introduced participants to a successful method of developing such an enterprise.
But in many ways, social innovation applies to so many different industries, but when it comes to social entrepreneurship, it's how you're using simple, scalable solution to transform the way people live in a better way. You have to find something that's very innovative, that could really disrupt current norms for the better.
Social innovation is very simply finding new ways to tackle social problems. In the case of nature seekers, we believe that you can't tackle any social problems without including the environment. And we have looked at the problem of unemployment in Matura. We use bottles that we clean from the beach so the turtles could come and nest, and we actually have trained members of the community to turn the glass bottles into beads. So we've created employment, and we've also created a social business. The fair was a really good opportunity for learning, particularly in business. I think when you are a social enterprise, it's really difficult to cross the boundary from NGO into really making money, and I think some of the workshops really, especially today, really did assist in teaching us how we can really create a proper business out of what we're doing.
So the fact is that because we're at the small island states are, in a sense, open economies with very limited resources and very limited economic activities from which GDP is derived. Anything which impacts these activities, and the most climate sensitive of these activities are the ones which we depend on, such as tourism and agriculture, then we understand that it will change life as we know it. And in some instances, it could be even worse. It will get rid of the islands completely.
An environmind is somebody who is mentally, environmentally connected with the arts, music, and the environment, using the environment to portray or to express their art.
In coming to this fair, I realized that we have met a lot of people, to network with, where we can have marketing and other knowledge gained to how we can better our greenhouse. So it was really a tremendous blessing to be on this fair.
By attending the knowledge fair, I came as a vendor and realized due coming as a vendor, I saw the opportunity now where I could be hopefully a grantee for next year. It also helped me advertise my business, and I also found ways with the other booths and members who attended today that I could help expand my business and my company.
It's been a great experience here. I feel like I've met some really interesting people and been exposed to the great projects going on in Trinidad and Tobago, and I look forward to following up with a lot of the great contacts that I met here.